Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirabhishesha Shunyavadi Pashat Deshtari Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Jaya Radha Parsati Lalita Vishakha Radha Parsati Lalita Vishakha Jaya Sita Rama Lakshmana Hanuman Sita Rama Lakshmana Hanuman Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Lakshmi Narasimha Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundar Radha Jaya Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundar Radha Jaya Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Jaya Vrindavan Ram Jaya Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Jaya Vrindavan Ram Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Gurudeva, 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 Jaya Gurudeva, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.
हरे कृष्णा। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद प्रभु जी इतने सुंदर कीर्तन के लिए। तो हम सभी प्रभु जी का धन्यवाद करेंगे वे चैट बॉक्स में हरि बोल टाइप करके। और अब समय है हमारे लेक्चर का, तो मैं शेयर करता हूँ स्क्रीन, आप सभी इसको ध्यान से सुनिएगा। गोपाल कृष्ण गोस्वामी महाराज के बारे में है।
वो समय जब दुनिया के कई देश अपने निजी स्वार्थ और राजनीतिक मांगों को पूरा करने के लिए एक दूसरे की जान के दुश्मन बन चुके थे। उसी समय 14 अगस्त को भारतवर्ष में एक दिव्य बालक का जन्म होता है। तब किसी को पता नहीं था कि आगे जाकर ये बालक पूरे विश्व की आध्यात्मिक धरोहर को हिला कर रख देगा। श्रीला गोपाल कृष्ण गोस्वामी महाराज एक ऐसे संत जिन्होंने अपने जीवन काल में कृष्ण भक्ति का ऐसा प्रचार किया जो शायद मानव समाज अपने आने वाले हजारों लाखों सालों तक ना देख सके। इन्होंने न केवल दिल्ली में 18 भव्य मंदिर का निर्माण करवाया, बल्कि रशिया, चाइना और पाकिस्तान जैसे नास्तिक और हिंदू धर्म विरोधी मानसिकता वाले देशों में भी निर्भयता से प्रचार किया। ऐसे महापुरुषों के जीवन को सुनने मात्र से व्यक्ति भगवान का प्रिय बन सकता है। इसलिए इस वीडियो को अंत तक देखें। 14 अगस्त 1944 अन्नदा एकादशी के दिन दिल्ली में इनका प्रादुर्भाव हुआ और इनका नाम रखा गया गोपाल कृष्ण खन्ना। बचपन से ही पढ़ाई और खेल कूद में ये अव्वल नंबर पर थे। इनके पिताजी नेवी में ऑफिसर थे, लेकिन किसी कारणवश वे दिल्ली में आकर अपना बिजनेस शुरू कर लेते हैं। यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ दिल्ली से अपनी ग्रेजुएशन पूरी करने के बाद महाराज पेरिस में जाकर बिजनेस मैनेजमेंट की पढ़ाई करते हैं और फिर वहां से मॉन्ट्रियल में अपनी मास्टर्स डिग्री प्राप्त करते हैं। महाराज उस समय पेप्सी कोला कंपनी में मार्केट रिसर्चर थे और हर संडे गुरुद्वारा, चर्चेस और टेम्पल्स में जाया करते थे ताकि वो भगवान के विषय में और जान सकें। कुछ समय बाद वो इस्कॉन मॉन्ट्रियल के भक्तों के संपर्क में आए और वो दिन था 30 मई 1968 जब उन्हें खबर मिली कि इस्कॉन के फाउंडर श्रीला प्रभुपाद जी 1 जून को मॉन्ट्रियल आ रहे हैं। उन्हें प्रभुपाद जी की रूम क्लीनिंग की सेवा मिली और उसे उन्होंने इतने अच्छे से किया कि प्रभुपाद जी ने भी उस चीज़ की सराहना की। महाराज, जो कि उस समय थे गोपाल कृष्ण प्रभु, इन्होंने मात्र 2 हफ्तों में ही प्रभुपाद जी को गुरु रूप में स्वीकार कर लिया और अपने सिंसियरिटी और हम्बलनेस से प्रभुपाद के विश्वास पात्र भी बन गए। 27 मई 1969 में प्रभुपाद जी से दीक्षा प्राप्त कर इनका नाम हो गया गोपाल कृष्ण दास। आगे चलकर गोपाल कृष्ण प्रभु के माता पिता उनके इस्कॉन से जुड़ने से काफ़ी ज़्यादा चिंतित हो गए और प्रभुपाद जी को लेटर लिखने लगे कि उनके बेटे को वे छोड़ दें। फिर प्रभुपाद जी की आज्ञा से महाराज एक अमेरिकन लड़की से शादी करते हैं, लेकिन कुछ ही समय बाद उनके मंदिर में ज़्यादा समय बिताने के कारण उनकी पत्नी उन्हें छोड़ देती हैं। उनकी सेवाओं, निष्ठा और एकेडमिक क्वालिटीज़ को देखकर प्रभुपाद जी उन्हें इंडिया का जीबीसी बना देते हैं, जिसे गवर्निंग बॉडी कमीशन कहा जाता है। इस पोस्ट के व्यक्ति को इस्कॉन के मेजर डिसीजन लेने का राइट मिल जाता है। अब प्रचार आगे बढ़ाने के लिए 1981 में उन्होंने संन्यास आश्रम स्वीकार कर लिया और बन गए श्रीला गोपाल कृष्ण गोस्वामी महाराज। इन्होंने दिल्ली में कई मंदिरों की स्थापना की, लेकिन उनमें सबसे प्रमुख है राधा पार्थसारथी मंदिर। यह मंदिर कैसे स्थापित हुआ, आइए संक्षेप में जानते हैं। दिल्ली में मंदिर बनाना इतना सरल भी ना था, क्योंकि उस समय के राजनेता हिंदू मंदिरों को बनवाने के लिए इतना सहयोग में नहीं थे। उस समय की अर्बन ऑफिसर मिनिस्टर एक मुस्लिम महिला थी, जो कि लैंड के लिए परमिशन नहीं दे रही थी। महाराज घंटों घंटों उनके ऑफिस के बाहर बिता देते थे, लेकिन फिर भी उन्हें कोई भी पॉजिटिव रिस्पॉन्स नहीं मिलता था। फिर कुछ समय बाद उस महिला ने परेशान होकर महाराज को तिहाड़ जेल के सामने एक लैंड देने का वादा किया, लेकिन महाराज ने उस लोकेशन को रिजेक्ट कर दिया। फिर बाद में साउथ दिल्ली में महाराज को एक गोवर्धन नाम की हिल दिखाई गई, जो कि महाराज को काफ़ी पसंद आई, लेकिन उस लैंड के लिए भी इस महिला ने महाराज को परमिशन नहीं दी। क्योंकि वो महिला मुस्लिम थी, इसलिए महाराज ने मुंबई से एक प्रीमियम कुरान मंगाकर उसको गिफ्ट करी, लेकिन फिर भी उस महिला ने उस लैंड के लिए अप्रूवल नहीं दिया। एक समय की बात है, मेरठ में इलेक्शन के लिए रैली चल रही थी। महाराज वहाँ भी उस महिला को मिलने के लिए पहुँच गए। वह महिला रैली में थी और अपने असिस्टेंट से पूछने लगी कि ये लोग यहाँ पर क्यों आए हैं। तब उन्होंने जवाब दिया कि ये लैंड का अप्रूवल चाहते हैं। तब उस महिला ने महाराज की डिटर्मिनेशन और निष्ठा को देखते हुए उनको साइन करके लैंड अप्रूव कर ही दिया। अब लैंड तो मिल गया, लेकिन जो लैंड थी वो प्लेन नहीं थी, वो हाउस होल्ड एरिया में एक हिल था। अगर लैंड को सीधा करने के लिए डायनामाइट का उपयोग भी किया जाए तो आसपास के घर वाले ये करने ना देते। तो अब केवल एक ही रास्ता था कि पर्वत के ऊपर ही मंदिर की स्थापना की जाए, और ये कार्य इतना सरल भी ना था। इसके लिए एक एक्सपर्ट आर्किटेक्ट की ज़रूरत थी जो कि इस कार्य को अच्छे से कर सके। फिर कुछ समय बाद अपनी जानकारी लगाने के बाद महाराज को पता चला कि एक A.P. करविंदे नाम के आर्किटेक्ट हैं जो कि पद्मश्री अवार्ड से भी विभूषित हैं। ये इस कार्य को निपुणता से कर सकते हैं। तो फिर A.P. करविंदे जी को बुलाया गया और उन्हें पूरा प्रोजेक्ट समझाया गया, लेकिन जब उन्होंने इस चीज़ का पूरे ढंग से एनालाइज किया तब उन्हें पता लगा कि ये कार्य बहुत मुश्किल है, और A.P. करविंदे जी ने इसको रिजेक्ट कर दिया। अब सब भक्त लोग निराश हो गए, लेकिन महाराज का उत्साह बिल्कुल भी कम नहीं हुआ। महाराज ने दुनिया के विभिन्न विभिन्न देशों से भक्तों को बुलवाया, अमेरिका से, अफ्रीका से, पाकिस्तान से, चाइना से। तो इस प्रकार से अलग अलग शरीरधारी भक्तों को बुलाकर A.P. करविंदे जी के घर पर सब लोग पहुंच गए। अलग अलग रंग और रूप वाले भक्तों को देखकर A.P. करविंदे जी काफ़ी आश्चर्य से खुश हुए, और A.P. करविंदे जी ने सभी भक्तों को अंदर बुलाया। महाराज उनके लिए एक भागवतम का सेट काफ़ी सजा कर लेके गए थे, जिसके बाद पूरे दिन महाराज ने A.P. करविंदे जी को भागवतम की शिक्षाओं के बारे में बताया। और फिर अंत में A.P. करविंदे जी ने कहा कि हम मंदिर के बारे में चर्चा करते हैं, और अंत में वह महाराज की वाणी से इतना ज़्यादा प्रभावित हो गए कि उन्होंने कहा कि मैं मंदिर के लिए कोई भी शुल्क चार्ज नहीं करूँगा, मैं ये कार्य निःशुल्क भगवान की सेवा समझकर करूँगा। तो इस प्रकार काफ़ी कठिनाइयों और समस्याओं से गुजरने के बाद हमारा राधा पार्थ सारथी मंदिर बनकर तैयार होता है। तो अब हम संक्षेप में जानते हैं कि महाराज ने विभिन्न विभिन्न देशों में किस प्रकार से भगवान नाम का प्रचार किया। सबसे पहले हम जानते हैं कि किस प्रकार महाराज रशिया में जाकर प्रीचिंग करते हैं। रशिया का नाम उस समय सोवियत यूनियन था, और वहाँ पर किसी भी प्रकार का धर्म का प्रचार निषेध था। अगर कोई भी व्यक्ति किसी भी धर्म को पालन करता हुआ या प्रचार करता हुआ पाया जाए तो उसके लिए सख्त नियम थे, उसे जेल और यहाँ तक कि फांसी की सज़ा भी हो सकती थी। तो इसके चलते किसी भी धर्म का प्रचार रशिया में उस समय नहीं हो रहा था। लेकिन अपने गुरु महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद जी की आज्ञा से वे रशिया में प्रचार करने के लिए जाते हैं। इस समय कोई भी आध्यात्मिक पुस्तक रशिया में अलाउड नहीं थी। तो अब सवाल ये था कि भगवत गीता और भागवतम जैसे ग्रंथों को भारत से रशिया कैसे ले जाया जाए। इस पर महाराज ने एक युक्ति निकाली और महिलाओं की साड़ियों में 40 ऐसी जेबें बना दी जिसमें भगवत गीता फिट हो सके, और उन जेबों में भगवत गीता को लेकर उन महिलाओं को भारत से रशिया ले गए, और उसके बाद रशिया में जाकर खुद की प्रिंटिंग मशीन लेकर अपने हाथ से पूरी भगवत गीता को प्रिंट करते थे। खुले में प्रचार ना कर पाने के कारण वे भगवत गीता को प्रिंट करके पब्लिक प्लेसेस में रख दिया करते थे, और फिर अगर कोई व्यक्ति पढ़ता तो उसको चुपके से अप्रोच किया करते थे। इस प्रकार धीरे धीरे महाराज ने काफ़ी ज़्यादा रशिया में प्रचार करना शुरू कर दिया। रशिया की स्थिति उस समय इतनी बदतर थी कि अगर कोई भी धार्मिक व्यक्ति वहाँ प्रचार करता हुआ दिख जाए तो उसको इतनी यातनाएं दी जाती थी कि वह मृत्यु की भीख मांगता था। आप एक पुस्तक पढ़ सकते हैं जिसका नाम है सॉल्टेड ब्लड। जिसमें बताया गया है कि इस्कॉन के भक्तों को कितना कष्ट दिया गया रशिया में जब वे प्रचार कर रहे थे। फिर कुछ समय बाद श्रील गोपाल कृष्ण गोस्वामी महाराज भारत के प्रधानमंत्री राजीव गांधी जी की मदद से रशिया के राष्ट्रपति गोर्बेचोव से बात करते हैं और फिर धार्मिक प्रचार की स्थिति में रशिया में सुधार होने लगता है। फिर कुछ समय बाद रशियन गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से इस्कॉन को साइबेरिया में लैंड देने की बात की जाती है, लेकिन समस्या यह है कि साइबेरिया की पॉपुलेशन बहुत ज़्यादा कम है और वहाँ जंगली जानवर बहुत ज़्यादा हैं, तो महाराज ने इस लैंड को रिजेक्ट कर दिया। उन्होंने डिमांड की कि हमें मॉस्को में लैंड चाहिए और काफ़ी प्रयास के बाद उन्हें लैंड के लिए अप्रूवल मिल गया, लेकिन उनकी डीड में यह कंडीशन थी कि अगर 3 साल में वे मंदिर नहीं बना सके तो ये डीड उनसे वापस ले ली जाएगी। उसके बाद 3 साल तक रशियन गवर्नमेंट ने महाराज को फॉर्मेलिटीज़ में उलझा कर रखा और मंदिर नहीं बनने दिया। इसके बाद उन्होंने डीड वापस ले ली। उसके बाद भगवद गीता को भी रशिया में बैन कर दिया गया और तब भी महाराज अपनी पूरी कीर्तन मंडली के साथ रशियन एम्बेसी के बाहर हरे कृष्ण हरे राम का कीर्तन कर रहे थे। इस प्रकार हम देख सकते हैं कि महाराज के जीवन में कितनी भी कठिनाई क्यों ना हो, कितनी भी समस्याएं क्यों ना हो, भले ही उनके जान की बात क्यों ना हो, लेकिन महाराज निर्भयता से अपने गुरु की आज्ञा का पालन करते रहे। इसी प्रकार महाराज पाकिस्तान में भी गए। प्रभुपाद जी ने अपने शिष्य को पाकिस्तान में भेजा था, लेकिन वह अपनी जान के भय से इस्लाम एक्सेप्ट कर लेते हैं। फिर बाद में बात निकली कि भला पाकिस्तान में कौन प्रचार करेगा। तब श्रील गोपाल कृष्ण गोस्वामी महाराज आगे आए और वो पाकिस्तान में प्रचार करने के लिए गए। भगवद गीता को उर्दू में ट्रांसलेट किया, लेकिन वहाँ की उर्दू और यहाँ की उर्दू में कुछ भेद होने के कारण लोगों को भगवद गीता समझने में प्रॉब्लम होने लगी। इसलिए उन्होंने मुंबई में भगवद गीता को भेजकर भगवद गीता की उर्दू को रिवाइज करवाया और काफ़ी मेहनत के बाद वहाँ पर भगवद गीता का प्रचार किया। और आप जानकर हैरान हो जाएंगे कि आज पाकिस्तान में महाराज की कृपा से 12 से भी अधिक मंदिर हैं, जहाँ मुस्लिम लोग भी आकर हरे कृष्ण हरे राम का कीर्तन करते हैं और सनातन धर्म को फॉलो करते हैं। इसी प्रकार महाराज चाइना में भी गए। अब चाइना की विशेष बात यह है कि आज भी चाइना के कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में लिखा है कि वी आर ए एथिस्टिक कंट्री, मतलब वहाँ धर्म का पालन करना मात्र ही गैर कानूनी है। अगर आप धर्म का पालन कर रहे हैं, कुछ भी कर रहे हैं, तो आप एक गैर कानूनी काम कर रहे हैं, आप दंडनीय हैं। यहाँ पर कोई भी व्यक्ति जो कि सैफ्रॉन में हो या तिलक लगाया हुआ हो या कंठी पहना हुआ हो, उसका पासपोर्ट भी अप्रूव नहीं होता है। अब दिक्कत वाली बात यह थी कि जब महाराज का पासपोर्ट अप्रूव होने के लिए गया तो उनके शिष्यों ने गलती से महाराज की सैफ्रॉन ड्रेस में ही फोटो भेज दी। इसके चलते महाराज को लगा कि अब तो मेरा पासपोर्ट कैंसिल ही है, मैं चाइना कभी नहीं जा पाऊंगा। लेकिन आश्चर्यजनक बात यह है कि महाराज का पासपोर्ट क्लियर हो गया और महाराज चाइना पहुंच गए। चाइना में रहना और भगवान नाम का प्रचार करना इतना भी सरल नहीं था। वहाँ पर शाकाहारी खाना मिलना भी बहुत कठिन था। इन सब कठिनाइयों के बीच जहाँ सरकार भी धर्म के विरुद्ध है, जहाँ के लोग शाकाहारी और मांसाहारी में भेद तक नहीं जानते, उन व्यक्तियों को प्याज लहसुन छुड़वा कर भगवान की भक्ति में लगाना ये एक बहुत बड़ा काम था। आज महाराज की कृपा से हजारों हजारों भक्त चाइना जैसे देश में भी वैष्णव धर्म का पालन कर रहे हैं और शुद्ध शाकाहारी भोजन भगवान को भोग लगाकर भगवान का नाम जप करते हुए पा रहे हैं। तो इससे हम देखते हैं कि गोपाल कृष्ण गोस्वामी महाराज जी भगवान के नित्य परिकर थे, जो इस जगत में उनकी कीर्ति का गुणगान करने आए थे और हम जैसे जीवात्माओं को एक मौका देने आए थे कि हम उनकी शरण ले सकें, भगवान की शरण ले सकें और अपना जीवन सार्थक कर सकें। तो ऐसे ही और वीडियोस के लिए चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कीजिए, वीडियो को लाइक कीजिए और शेयर कीजिए।
Hare Krishna. Thank you all for patiently watching this video.
Hare Krishna.
Now, Hare Krishna. Now it's time for the lecture. Now, today our host is His Grace Madhav Murari Prabhuji. So I will give a short introduction of Prabhuji. Prabhuji was born in Russia. He is practicing Krishna consciousness since 2006, and his first initiation was in 2008 and second initiation in 2018. He is a graduate of from State Academy of Law in 2005 and a degree of degree in law he has in 2014, 2024. He was a pujari at the temple of Jagannath Baldev Subhadra, Moscow Vedic Culture Center at Botanical Garden Metro Station. And he coordinated the publication of magazine Sankirtan of New Age, that is from 2010 to 2014. He was also engaged in Vaishnav education in Russia Federation, the Golden Ring area, from 2014 to 2022. So we will welcome Prabhuji by loudly chanting one Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji Sadhana.
Hare Krishna. Am I audible?
Yes, Prabhuji, you are audible.
Oh, very nice, very nice. Can you make me a host? I would like to share the screen also.
Yes, Prabhuji. Just 1 minute.
Uh-huh.
Now, Prabhuji, you are a host
Yeah,
and you
I
can
see.
share.
Thank you. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay. So text is visible, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Visible. Okay. Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Mano Bishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svaya Rupa Kadama Yam Dadati Svapadantikam. Vanchakal Patarubhyascha Kripa Sinubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vas Adigoura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, which is called General History, chapter number 3, Liberation from the Illusory Energy, verse number 22. Tatra Bhagavatam Dharman Shikshet Gurvatma Daivatach Amaya Yanu Vritya Yash Tushyet Atmatma Do Harihim. Accepting the bona fide spiritual master as one's life and soul and worshipable deity, the disciple should learn from him the process of pure devotional service. The Supreme Personality of Godhead Hari, the soul of all souls, is inclined to give himself to his pure devotees. Therefore, the disciple should learn from the spiritual master to serve the Lord without duplicity and in such a faithful and favorable way that the Supreme Lord, being satisfied, will offer himself to the faithful disciple. Hare Krishna. So next week on Tuesday, we observe a special date. It is 2 years after Guru Maharaja's departure from this world, from his disappearance. And according to this ISKCON disciple course, which usually is recommended to take if someone wants to be initiated in ISKCON, then he has to take this course, ISKCON disciple course. So this conception, Guru Padashraya, conception is given there. And the Guru Padashraya consists from 3 components. It is Ashraya or shelter before Srila Prabhupada's lotus feet, shelter before a lotus feet of spiritual master Diksha Guru, and shelter before some kind of Shiksha Guru, some kind of counselor or senior devotee, or maybe it can be official Shiksha Guru, and so on and so on. So after spiritual master's disappearance, after spiritual master's departure, this question can raise: who can replace him? What kind of replacement is possible? No replacement is possible, actually. No replacement is possible. And basically, Mukunda Goswami, His Holiness Mukunda Goswami, when he was just Mukunda Das, he asked Srila Prabhupada the same question when Srila Prabhupada had some troubles with his health. He has got the third heart attack. He had two heart attacks when he was going from India to United States of America on Jaladuta. He had two. And he had the third one in 1967 or 68, maybe. He had this heart attack again, the third one. And because of that, Srila Prabhupada had to go to India just to recover his health. And just before he went to India, Mukunda Goswami asked him, Mukunda Das, he asked him, if you will depart, whom we should follow. And Srila Prabhupada, the first statement which he told was externally looking. It was not connected. It was not connected to the question. He just told, my spiritual master, he was speaking about Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, my spiritual master wasn't ordinary man. He saved me. And then when he told it, some tears came from his eyes. And then after some time, Srila Prabhupada explained to Mukunda Das that actually it is offensive question if we are speaking about relationships between Diksha Guru and Diksha disciple. There is no question of replacement, but again, if we are speaking about our needs in spiritual life, we need some kind of living example anyway. We need some people, some devotees who show us a good example of devotional life, and we need some guidance, of course. So anyway, Srila Prabhupada is always with us in form of his instructions, and Diksha Guru is also with us in form of his instructions. And regarding to this Guru Padashraya conception, now what becomes really important, it is our Shravanam, our remembrance about these instructions that we have got from our spiritual master, because it is our link, it is our bridge, it is our connection with him through his instructions, through our memory. Through our memory, do we remember these instructions or not? Do we follow or not? It is one way to, well, at least to survive in spiritual life, not just to survive, but to grow spiritually. It is one of the ways to remember these instructions and to follow them strictly. And the another way is the importance of shiksha, of some instructions of those who are qualified, of those to whom we trust. Some ISKCON authorities, and then they give these instructions, and then we can follow. And by following spiritual instructions, we follow simultaneously. If we follow Srila Prabhupada, we follow spiritual master, we follow our local authority, because anyway, everything comes from the same root. From the same root, everything comes. Each and every instruction. Of course, if something doesn't fit with Srila Prabhupada's instructions, then the question raises what kind of instruction it is. But anyway, we are in safe place, in safe protected situation, in protected place, which is called ISKCON. This big house, which is constructed by Srila Prabhupada, and it has plenty of rooms, and each and every living entity can live in this very nice house, which is called ISKCON. Means we are in proper place, Like there is one funny story related to Srila Prabhupada when one Mataji decided to join ISKCON, and she went to this room when Srila Prabhupada was usually giving his darshans, to his personal room, to this room where he was giving his darshans, and she was waiting when Srila Prabhupada will be free. And in her presence, Srila Prabhupada was discussing some accounting things with one of his servants and disciples. Externally, it looks like they were discussing some materialistic subject matters. And well, Mataji was waiting for some time. Then when her patience was over, she told, I came here for spiritual life. Means what you're doing, people, you're counting your money, but what about spiritual life? I came here for spiritual life. And Srila Prabhupada responded, you came to the proper place, just sit and wait for some time. Just sit and wait. It is Krishna consciousness. Even if we deal with money or some material resources, it doesn't automatically means that it is materialistic activity. If it is related to devotional service, then it becomes devotional. It depends on the consciousness with which we deal with these material resources. So His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, he shows real, genuine example of how it is written in this verse from Bhagavatam. Example of serving the Lord, serving Srila Prabhupada, serving ISKCON without duplicity, in a faithful and favorable way. And it is important not only mood, not only skills, but also mood, because one can be skillful and experienced accountant or pujari or kirtaniya or whatever, or speaker. But anyway, it is important, and we get from our spiritual masters. We are trying to get this sincerity and this favorable way of conducting devotional service. Anukulena Krishna no Shivanam Bhaktir Uttama. Anukulena, it is one of the aspects of Shuddha Bhakti, of pure devotional service. Anukulena means in favorable way, means I do take care if Krishna likes what I'm doing or not. And I do take care if Srila Prabhupada and spiritual master, they like what am I doing or not. It means in favorable way, not just automatically, but in favorable way. And it is particular level of spiritual consciousness. And when someone is able to do these things in really in favorable way in devotion, this devotion is contagious, really, because we become inspired. We become inspired to become like this. It is the essence of the relationships between spiritual master and disciple, because it is not only the question of our salvation from clutches of material energy, it is also the question of our desire. Do we want to take the same mood, the same mentality? Do we want to take the same mood or not? That is the question. And if we, ideally from the very beginning, we observe spiritual master, or maybe some of them who we expect to be our spiritual master in future, and we observe their dedication, devotion, their mood, and we think that let me also become like this, or maybe let me also become like, not exactly like this, because it is big goal, of course, and ambitious goal, spiritual goal, but ambitious. Anyway, from in some sense, it is good to when we are trying to achieve ambitious goals. But anyway, this desire, humble desire to follow the same mood, it is important. So we should be inspired by someone. We have about how many? About 10 dozens of spiritual masters by this moment, 10 dozens, I think. We have this list of spiritual masters from ISKCON on official website. It is about 10 dozens, means 127 or something like this. I've just 1 or 2 hours before I was checking this list just for some purposes. And means there is a choice, and and there are different aspects how do we choose, and of course we should take ISKCON disciple course to understand this Guru Tattva, which is also important. But again, we are going to discuss not just Guru Tattva in general, but Guru Maharaj also. So here in the purport, Srila Prabhupada's disciples, they write, Srila Jiva Goswami comments that the spiritual master is to be considered the Atma, or the very life of the disciple, since real life begins when one is initiated by a bona fide spiritual master. Although one may experience many seemingly wonderful or important events in a dream, one's real life begins when he wakes up. Similarly, since the spiritual master gives birth to the disciple by awakening him to spiritual life, a bona fide disciple understands that his spiritual master is the very basis of his life. So we can tell about His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj that he is Prabhupada man. He is Prabhupada man. And Srila Prabhupada was speaking, telling about his own spiritual master, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati is Vaikuntha man. Anyway, it is important approach. We can have many gurus in this ISKCON movement, in the sense that we can take shiksha from different personalities. This choice is given. But the relationships with Diksha Guru, it is the root, it is basis of disciple's life, or it is root of his life. Even Buddhists, they have this term. We don't use this term in Vaishnava tradition, but they have this term root guru, mula guru, means spiritual master who gives essential and the most important instructions to the disciple, which disciple takes very seriously to his heart. So it is the qualification of the disciple that this spiritual chastity when we take instructions from spiritual master, and we don't consider these instructions just to be one of the opinions that different conditioned living entities can have in this material world. But these instructions are very important, and they can save us from repeated birth and death, from samsara, and they can revive our eternal nature of inhabitant of the spiritual abode. It is quite ambitious goal to come back to the position of the inhabitant of spiritual world. It is quite ambitious goal, but anyway, this goal is nice, very nice goal. And now we're going to see some other slides. Just one moment. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we have presentation which is called The History of Development of ISKCON in Russia and USSR. So originally it starts from where? Yeah, this one. This famous photo, which was taken by Shyamasundara Prabhu. Shyamasundara Prabhu is Srila Prabhupada's disciple, and he visited Moscow, visited United States of America, Soviet Union. He visited Soviet Union in June of 1971. Just 5 days visit, very short visit, not so easy to visit Soviet Union, not so easy. He has got visa, Srila Prabhupada and his 2 servants. There were 2 servants, Shyamasundara and Aravinda. They have got this visa with great efforts. And just because Professor Kotovsky, Dr. Kotovsky, he helped Srila Prabhupada to visit Moscow. For the foreigners, not so easy to visit Soviet Union. The same way, like for example, if someone wants to visit North Korea, just some places in Pyongyang, in capital city, will be shown, but nothing else. So the same way, in those times, foreigners could see Moscow only. Well, maybe some other cities also, but very special permission. There was need of very special permission, and hardly people could get this permission. So 5 days, and Srila Prabhupada had this conversation with with Dr. Kotovsky, and this conversation is published in Science of Self-Realization book. And he also found Ananta Shanti Prabhu, one young man from Soviet Union who, after some time, became his disciple. And it is this photo, which you can see on the screen, it is the very, very center of Moscow. You can see this Saint Basilic Cathedral far away. On the road, on this picture, on this photo. And it is famous Tverskaya Street. Tverskaya Street. So he goes here from his National Hotel. It is the name of hotel, National. He goes on this road directly to the Red Square and to mausoleum where the body of Lenin, Vladimir Lenin, is lying down, and actually already for 100 times people are observing this dead body of this great political leader of 20th century. And founder Acharya of Communist Party in Russia. Okay, so everything starts from this very famous photo, and it is 1971, and then we go to. So you can see these three nice people here. The first one, if we look from the left to the right, the first one is Shema Sundara Prabhu, Srila Prabhupada's disciple who was accompanying Srila Prabhupada in Moscow. One in the middle is Dr. Kotovsky, Professor Kotovsky, who was an expert in Oriental studies in Soviet Union for those times. And he was in charge of particular institute in Moscow, Institute of Oriental Studies. And one who is on the right, he is Anatoly Penyaev. It is his karmic name, Anatoly Penyaev, or Ananta Shanti Das. It is his name, which was given to him by Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So these great people are from them. This history of Russian ISKCON has started from these people, and from Srila Prabhupada, of course, also. So here on this photo, you can see on the right side. Okay, I will make it bigger. Again, it is the center of Moscow. On the right side, you can see Ananta Shanti or Anatoly Penyaev. It is the very first devotee in USSR. On the left side, you can see Valmiki Muni Das. He is also Srila Prabhupada's disciple, but he went to USA. He was not staying in USSR. In 70s, when he has got this opportunity, he immediately went to USA. And in the middle, you can see this Mataji from France. Her name is Mondakini Devidasi. Likely you know her, Mondakini Devidasi. She was the wife of Ananta Shanti Prabhu for some time, and she was cultivating him in devotional service. She was giving him some kind of training, because again, Srila Prabhupada was visited Moscow just for 5 days. So it was not sufficient for anything, for Bhakti Shastri, for Bhakta program, for ISKCON disciple course, whatever. 5 days is not sufficient. So, and of course, when you go to someone's country, people are conditioned by local nature, by Soviet nature, by Soviet culture. I wanted to say, but some kind of culture, Soviet culture or American culture or European culture. When Soviet devotees first time they went to India in 1989, those people who saw them in India, they immediately could understand these people are from Soviet Union. These people are from. It was really visible from them, how they were behaving and look like and all other things. So and now we have these photos, very important historical photos. The second one, which you can see on the right side, was taken in 1976 when Guru Maharaj visited Moscow as a representative of Bhaktivedanta Book Trust, because in 1976 in Moscow there was book exhibition in somewhere in the center of Moscow, and different publishing houses, they went to Moscow to show their books. And Bhaktivedanta Book Trust also, they have shown these books. And some of the sets of our books, Srila Prabhupada's books, also were presented to libraries. It is one of the ways how one of the first devotees, ISKCON devotees in Soviet Union, his name is Vishwamitra Das. Unfortunately, he left his body when he did it about 10 or even a little bit more years ago. He left his body because of the cancer, because he was prosecuted in Soviet times as a devotee, and he was sitting in jail since 1982 till 1987 or 88 maybe. So he left his body, but how he came in touch with ISKCON? If you have no temples in USSR, nothing, how you can keep in touch? How you can get to know about ISKCON, about Krishna? He was man of science. He was working in this scientific field, and because of that, he was visiting the biggest library in Moscow and in Russia itself, so-called Lenin Library, and he found these books in this library, and because of that he became a devotee. He was able to read these books in English language, which is not typical for Soviet people. Usually Soviet people were not so much, didn't have a good command of English language. Anyway, he was very smart and dedicated Prabhuji. And I myself, I also had such privilege to visit his Namahata when he was alive. And even he was feeding me a few times with his famous dry chapatis, which were cooked by him. Vishwamitra Prabhu originally was Harikesha Swami's disciple, but after when Harikesha Swami decided that he decided not to be an ISKCON member anymore, then this need of reinitiation came, and Vishwamitra Prabhu became the disciple of our Guru Maharaj. So the picture which you can see on the right side, it is from this book exhibition, and the photo on the left side, it is one of the first meeting, one of the first Namahatas in Moscow. Guru Maharaj was preaching in Moscow for 31 years. The first visit when he was able to preach officially, it was 1988. And the last one, it is just before pandemic. It is 2019. This year, before pandemic, before all this pandemic, COVID-19 started, and the Guru Maharaj was forced, because of these circumstances, he was forced to sit in Sri Sri Radhaparthasaradhi temple without going anywhere. And in this particular moment, he started to use Zoom, to give his association to different devotees from different corners of the world. And he was so much excited and happy that such technology came and can be used in Krishna consciousness. Okay, let's go to the next slides. And the next slides will be just let me check what I'm going to show you next. I will show you some more photos from this book exhibition. Just one moment. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Bo. So these pictures. So these books are our books, you see? These books are our books. And here you can see some smart Prabhuji, smart guy. He is looking on our books and he is trying to understand what is written here. And of course, to understand it properly, one needs spiritual guidance. What we can say. Also, there is one website which I want to show you, and we are going to read some remembrance from this website. I want to make you familiar with one website which is made by one of Guru Maharaj's disciples, and her name is Lakshmi Rupa Devi Dasi. Lakshmi Rupa Devi Dasi. Unfortunately, she also left her body because of the cancer, but it is not because of the prisons, not because of that. She belongs to another generation of devotees, but anyway, unfortunately, she also left her body. And during all her devotional life, what she was doing, she was taking videos. She was taking videos here on this website. Look what is the name of website. Lava, then this, how do we call it? This line goes, line, lava line, matra.ru. And here you can see this video archive which she made. It is Guru Maharaja's lectures, many lectures, many videos. Some of these videos, of course, are on the official Indian Guru Maharaja's website, but anyway, you can see it also here. Some of pilgrimages are here, and but what is really nice, that during her lifetime, she was in charge of this magazine, which is called Lava Matra, and she published 21 of such magazines. So the structure of this magazine is quite simple. First, we get some Srila Prabhupada's instruction. Some quote from Srimad Bhagavatam goes. Then the Guru Maharaja's class goes, transcribed Guru Maharaja's class. Then some remembrances and glorification of Guru Maharaj given by someone from outside. Outside, I mean from someone who is not his Diksha disciple. We cannot say that they are from outside because it is family of ISKCON. There is no outsiders, but relatively, I mean, in that sense that they don't belong to this group of Diksha disciples. Someone from them, someone from some of senior devotees, they glorify him, and then about 5 or 6 articles where different disciples, they glorify Guru Maharaj, they share some stories and so on and so on, and everything is here in Russian language. You can use AI, you can use artificial intelligence. Like, for example, we have seen this wonderful cartoon about Guru Maharaj's biography, right? We just have seen this cartoon, which was naturally it was made using some AI. So the same way, using some AI which can translate, which is called, for example, DeepL. DeepL. There is such AI. You can use it and you can translate it to Hindi or English, whatever. You can get English versions of these magazines. But anyway, just to inspire you, I translated some of remembrances from this magazine. And now we're going to read a little bit about Guru Maharaj, which was published in this magazine. For example, Madhav Murari Prabhu, likely you know him, right? He is Mukunda Goswami's disciple. He is quite famous because of his sincerity and humility and kindness and knowledge, many wonderful qualities. He is quite well known in India, at least in Delhi. And if you don't know about him, you just ask some of the seniors, they will tell you something about him. And so we have some of his remembrance here. I spent a great deal of time in the Delhi temple built by Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. I had the fortunate opportunity to be engaged in various service under his guidance. During the temple's opening, my responsibility was to invite international media, newspapers, and television. This was quite easy because the temple is very beautiful. Everyone knows that Gopal Krishna Maharaj is probably the most active GBC in ISKCON. Perhaps Jayapataka Maharaj is similar in that regard. They seem to belong to the same category in terms of dynamism and constant travel. Gopal Krishna Maharaj is one of the most dynamic GBC members. He constantly keeps his finger on the pulse of a vast number of projects. Yet all this doesn't bring him into a state of haste or pressure, unlike most of our managers who become overwhelmed even while managing small projects. Very important, or like Madhav Murari Prabhu is writing here, astonishing quality, because really it is not so easy to combine these two qualities, to meditate on big projects and to take care of people at the same time. Usually, well, not usually, but it is quite typically that there are some people who are good in devotee care, but they are not so nice in management. And there are some people who are good in management, but they are not so much sensitive to the people. It is how conditioned nature works. Usually it works like this. But in some cases, especially if this internal spiritual energy works, then we can see this wonderful phenomena when one person is able to manifest both qualities. He never loses sight of Krishna and always remembers him. He consistently worships his deities, whose number increases every year. They are always very well cared for and joyful. No matter what time Maharaj goes to sleep, he always appears the next morning on the altar and performs puja to the deities in Vrindavan, Delhi, Mumbai, and other temples. It is clear that Krishna in the life of Gopala Krishna Maharaj is not some theoretical truth or distant goal, not some bright future, but a daily reality that compels him to act very actively. It is nice words, daily reality that compels him to act very actively. It is exactly what we were reading now from Srimad Bhagavatam, that what a disciple should learn from his spiritual master, how to serve Krishna and Sri Guru Parampara in favorable way. How to do it? How to not to make it just a ritual or some kind of theory, but how to uh, live, how to live in devotion. We say devotional life, so it should be life. It should not be just routine. It should be life. So very inspiring example. Many neophytes like myself often have the temptation to equate spiritual life with personal comfort, peace, and tranquility, doing what we want and allowing others to interfere in our lives only as much as we permit. This is a mistake. It is when we try to use spiritual life as a way to arrange ourselves more comfortably in the material world and simply endure until death, like waiting in a comfortable lounge. For Gopala Krishna Maharaj, spiritual life means actively carrying out the desires of his spiritual master and Krishna. Once Srila Prabhupada was asked about Krishna and he replied, I don't know Krishna, I know my Guru Maharaj. It seems that the same could be said about Gopal Krishna Maharaj. He would answer in a similar way. Of course, he knows Krishna through Srila Prabhupada. And actually, we have 7 pages here. I will send it to the organizers, and organizers, I hope they will share it with you, because really we don't have time to read it all. But anyway, these glorifications are good. And one more glorification, just we will read something from here. It is another person. His name is Nitai Chaitanya Goswami. Unfortunately, he also left his body because of heart attack in 2020 or 2021 after COVID-19. Because of this, he had some troubles with health because of old age, and as we know, usually COVID-19 was working in such way that if someone's health is not good, then some chronic diseases are increasing, and someone can depart. So it is exactly what happened with Nitai Chaitanya Goswami Maharaj, who also one of the senior devotees of Russian ISKCON, just the next generation after Ananta Shanti, after those who were starting all this, Nitai Chaitanya Goswami Maharaj. So his remembrance are going like this. Whenever I hear about Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, the first thing that comes to mind is that he is a great worker. I have personally observed his remarkable capacity for work many times. It is AI translation, so what we can see. Recently, I was speaking with Yashomatinandana Prabhu about Gopal Krishna Maharaj, and I said, it seems to be that he sleeps no more than 5 hours. And he corrected me, I think no more than 4. He accomplishes an enormous volume of work, which is very striking for a person of his age. Another thing that impresses me about him is his immense faith. If I were asked to describe Gopal Krishna Maharaj in one word, I would say he is a man of faith. He can be taken as an example of this quality. His lectures and his association are filled with his faith. In his presence, there are no doubts. And so on and so on and so on. A lot of remembrances, and devotees told me that I have to give some time to I should how to say some time should be also given to answer on your questions. So what should I do? Okay, I will read a little bit more from here. Okay, just let's read a little bit more. What should we read? Just one moment. If a disciple has a genuine connection with the spiritual master and is devoted to him, then it happens as described in the Sri Gurvashtakam. By the mercy of Krishna, he receives the spiritual, the spiritual master is given to him by the mercy of Krishna. Through this connection, the words of our own spiritual master can produce a revolution in our heart, helps us resist the material world and develop a taste for devotional service. The way the spiritual master serves Krishna with that inner taste manifests in his speech. Speech conveys form and impression. Well, it is basically what I wanted to emphasize about the power of speech, power of transcendental vibration. Inner taste manifests in his speech. Speech conveys form and impression. That's why it is important to listen to the classes, because it is not just when we are taking some kind of information from these classes, but emotion is there, consciousness is there, inner taste is there. That's why, because of this. Because, well, information we can get from the books. But Srila Prabhupada, he gives the example that no one can become good lawyer or good doctor just by going to the library and just by reading some books. Even if these books are good, anyway, the association is important. And through this association, we get some, if we are speaking about medicine, we get some skills that we cannot get from the books, some skills, some practice, and the same way we can get some mood, some mentality, which usually we cannot get through books. Usually we cannot get through books, but through living association we can get it. That's why it is important to associate with saintly people. Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoy. Lava Matra Sadhusan Sarva Shastra, sorry. Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Koi. Lava Matra Hoy. Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha Sarva Siddhi Hoy means just short period of time you associate and you get the what you get? You get the inspiration. And basically, Sarva Siddhi means your life becomes perfect. Even if now you don't feel your life to be perfect. And it is normal that we feel our life not to be perfect. It can motivate us to become more serious on spiritual life. If someone preliminary feels that his life became perfect, he is in danger. This feeling is good. What does it mean that life becomes perfect? It means that we are on the perfect path. Like Srila Prabhupada told to that Mataji, you came to the proper place, just sit and wait. So the same way we can just practice devotional service and put our endeavors and trying our best and giving our energy time to this service. And of course it will take time. It will take time for us to achieve something here by our own endeavors and by Krishna's mercy, Guru Maharaja's mercy, combined efforts and mercy. These two things are required, both of them. And now we're going to, before we will go to the questions and answers session, I would like to show you a short video. It is from one of the first visits of Guru Maharaj in Moscow. When again, the first visits, it is 1988, 1989. So it is the very first visits. And let's watch some short short video from here from YouTube. It is it is USSR. It is 1988, and Guru Maharaj is so young and inspired and healthy, also healthy, yes, healthy there. And people are so sincere because, again, this spiritual hunger in USSR, it is typical situation. Everything was restricted, only Soviet ideology, only communist ideology. So these people, they feel spiritual hunger and they are very sincere. Just let's see this video. Hare Krishna.
That I have no attraction. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as I told you a short while ago, even when he was a young baby, he used to cry just to make people chant Hare Krishna. So if Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can say he has no attraction, how can you and I say that we have natural attraction for Krishna?
И если Господь Чайтанья говорит, что у него нет естественного влечения к святому имени, хотя в своем раннем возрасте он заставлял этих женщин петь Харе Кришна. Итак, если Господь Чайтанья говорит, что он не испытывает влечения к святому имени, то как мы можем говорить, что у нас есть естественное влечение?
So you must understand that you really have no attraction for the holy name, but if you take to the chanting, then gradually the attraction will develop.
Поэтому вы должны понять, что у вас нет влечения к воспеванию святого имени, но если вы будете продолжать, то оно разовьется.
This chanting is the simplest process of self-realization in the sage.
Это воспевание есть простейший процесс самореализации в этом веке.
In the Shastras it is said, Tritaya Dhyayato Vishnam Tretayo Yajato Makhe Dwarpare Parichayayam Kalota Dhari Kirtanat. That in this age, that there are four principal ages: Satya Yoga, Treta Yoga, Dwarpa Yoga and Kali Yoga.
В Шастрах говорится, есть 4 основных периода. Сати-юга, Трета-юга, Двапара-юга и Кали-юга.
In Satya Yoga, the means of self-realization was meditation on the Lord. And people used to meditate for 60,000 years in one stroke.
В Сати-югу методом самореализации была медитация на Господа. И люди медитировали в течение 60 тысяч лет без перерыва.
You may say impossible, but in Satya Yoga people used to live for 100,000 years.
Вы можете сказать, что это невозможно, но в Сати-югу люди жили 100 тысяч лет.
And Valmiki, the person who compiled the Ramayana, he meditated for 60,000 years, and then he was given the knowledge by which he compiled the Ramayana.
Валмики, он медитировал в течение 60 тысяч лет, и потом он получил знание, с помощью которого смог составить Рамаян.
So in Satya Yoga, the means was meditation, but today, even if you go and sit on the top of the Himalayas, you know how tall the Himalayan mountains are? 28,000 feet. Even if you go and sit on the top of 28,000 feet, the planes are flying on the top at 35,000 feet. So you can't meditate today.
Даже если сегодня вы заберетесь на вершину Гималаев высотой 28 тысяч футов, вы все равно не сможете медитировать, потому что самолеты летают на высоте 30 тысяч футов, и они будут вам мешать.
Then came the next stage, that was known as the age of Treta Yuga.
Следующий век назывался Трета-юга.
And in Treta Yuga, the means of self-realization was to hold very big yagyas.
И в Трета-югу методом самореализации было устраивание больших яги.
So in those yagyas, you would have to light fire, you would need thousands of Brahmins, and you would need pure ghee, pure water, pure air, pure of everything.
Для этих яги вам потребуется тысячи квалифицированных брахманов, чистые ги, чистая вода, все чистое.
I mean, for example, if each of you was told, okay, now each of you must do yagya at home, You, in your salary of 150 rubles, you could never do a yagya. 150 rubles every month. You could never do a yagya. You would get broke.
Если я вам скажу, как проводить яги, если у вас это будет требовать 150 рублей каждый месяц, вы не сможете проводить.
Что если вы захотите устроить яги дома, то с вашей зарплаты 150 рублей, вы просто не сможете это сделать, у вас сразу не в состоянии.
Because to do a yagya, first of all you have to call thousands of Brahmins. So where are those Brahmins today? Even in India there are no real Brahmins left.
Hare Krishna. So it looks like this lecture will be quite long, and the Guru Maharaj is going to explain the situation in all four yugas. So looks like we have no time to listen the whole thing. I will share the recording with the organizers. But anyway, what you can see, it is one of the first meetings, and it was written also. Maybe you could see that it was written Premavati apartment. Premavati apartment. Premavati Devidasi. She is the disciple of Harikesha Swami Maharaj, and she also one of the first devotees in USSR. She was taking part in the translating of Bhagavad Gita in Russian language in Soviet Union. The first Soviet edition of this translation was made by her and by other devotees also. So she is from some kind of she has some kind of aristocratic Soviet background. In Soviet terms, it is quite aristocratic background because she has got education in Moscow State University, and she was a teacher, professor in this university. So she is nice Mataji, old and respected Mataji, and so she took this very important service, good service, to accept Guru Maharaj at her place. And on this, and now we're going to take your questions. If you have questions, let's discuss this subject matter. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for this wonderful session. Now I would request people, devotees, who have question can raise their hands. They will be given chance to ask questions from Prabhuji. Prabhuji, there is one question in chat box. I will read for you.
Okay.
I think you already read this.
So if you want to read, you please read.
Okay. Among the disciples of Srila Prabhupada, there is such a strong bond filled with care, respect, love, and deep relationships. My question is, how can the coming generation in Prabhupada mission can build and maintain a similar kind of bond and relationship among themselves?
Means we're speaking about this particular phenomenon that now we have this generation of Srila Prabhupada's disciples who personally could associate with our founder Acharya, and how to keep this mood, this mentality for hundreds or thousands of years in our movement. That is the question. Well, not so easy to answer on this question. We have Gaura Krishna Das in Russia. He is in charge of BBT, and he wrote scientific article based on sociology and on his observations and thoughts about what kind of roles in religious organization can play each and every generation. The first generation, the second one, the third, the fourth. There are some scientific researches, that usually the next generation, they lose something. Usually they lose. So It is serious question how to prevent, how to save this Srila Prabhupada's legacy, Srila Prabhupada's heritage, how to keep it. Something we will lose, of course. Anyway, we will lose something because Desha Kalapatra, always it is changeable. Desha Kalapatra is always changeable. And there is the very first generation of Srila Prabhupada's disciples. Their life is described in Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita. They had an opportunity and special privilege to have personal association with Srila Prabhupada. I mean, this particular period of time when not so many Diksha disciples Srila Prabhupada had. So some of the devotees from the previous generation or from those who are old devotees, they can become a little bit upset that now ISKCON differs in comparison with what we had before. But what we can say, what we can do, the river of time flows perpetually. No one can stop this time. So something will be changed, but anyway, what we should do, we should stick to the essence of what our founder Acharya gave us, to the essence, and he gave his instructions. And we should read his books. We should stick to his instructions, and it is the role of a spiritual master. He helps us to do it. And of course, GBC also created committee which is called Srila Prabhupada's Position Committee, and some of Srila Prabhupada's disciples are there, and they are giving seminars. This famous seminar given by Sureshwara Prabhu, Srila Prabhupada founder Acharya, for example, or this document written by Ravindra Swarupa Prabhu, which is also called Srila Prabhupada founder Acharya. They're trying to keep the essence. But again, the Shakalapatra will be changing, and means that this particular mood, also will be changeable. Spiritual master is not different from his instructions. So to stick to the essence, it means that these circumstances can be changeable, but if we stick to the instructions that are not different from spiritual master, means we're connected to him. We're connected to him. So now it is the question how we can differentiate between what is the essence and what are the details. It is the wisdom. Spiritual wisdom is required for this. And for that, we also approach our seniors who are more qualified and knowledgeable to distinguish between what are the details and what is the essence. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for this wonderful answer. I think there are...
I don't know, was it helpful or not? Maybe wonderful, maybe not. I don't know. Okay, Mataji is satisfied. Okay. Mataji or Prabhuji?
Yes. Agishri Mataji.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Can you share some of the qualities of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Guru Maharaj that personally inspired you, or any most memorable moments with Maharaj? Well, you see, there is such term which we use in coaching, in psychology, in all this stuff, like personal integrity. Personal integrity very much inspires, and means what he is saying, he is doing. Such level of personal integrity I've never seen before anywhere in my life, in this particular lifetime. And basically, during all this period of time since 2006 to 2024, during all this period of my life, I've got some some association of Guru Maharaj, and I'm not sure that I will see such kind or such level of personal integrity in future in any person. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Personal integrity, such important quality. You are speaking about some spiritual values or values in general, and you're following. It is so nice example. Such dedication, such how do we call it? Such sacrificial mood. So many, such a huge contribution to ISKCON development is done. And now we are enjoying the fruits. We're enjoying the fruits of his contribution, and also according to our capacities, small capacities in comparison with his capacities, we're trying to develop it, or at least to maintain. And it is so nice that he, and also one of the qualities, it is his ability to find common language with simple people and with VIPs also. The same simplicity, the same humility, the same purity, spiritual purity in both cases. It so inspires. It is such example. I don't know where we're going to see the similar example. Really, I don't know. It is spiritual phenomena. It is spiritual qualities. It doesn't belong to material world. These qualities, they don't belong to material world. Some more questions or thoughts?
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for sharing. I think, Prabhuji, there are no more questions and no more.
Something. Game. Okay, just let's see. As I have heard a lot about his dedication for the same, and I like that very much. And well, we should try our best, and Krishna will do the rest. Just we can practice dedication on our own level, and by Krishna's mercy and by our prayers, endeavors, and His mercy, this level of dedication can be increased gradually. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So we will thank Prabhuji for such a wonderful session by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra one time. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Thank you so much, Prabhuji, once again. So
thank you very much for such wonderful chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So we will wind up our session by thanking Srila Prabhupada. Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Samved Gaur Bhakta Vrita ki jai. Jai. Anande Hari.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dhanavad pranam.
Dhanavad pranam to all.